Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. And I had an interesting conversation yesterday with Brad Combs from Digital Perspectives about XRP Las Vegas. And by the way, the links to that are in the description of this video. If you go to my private group, daixrp.com, you can get a discount in there. But I was having a conversation with him and I said, wait a minute, I want to sponsor your coffee at the event. And so he said that he would figure it out where I could be the official sponsor of the coffee of XRP Las Vegas. So I couldn't think of a more appropriate thing for me to sponsor. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that he has some cinnamon there too. There'll be like cinnamon shakers beside it, sponsored by DAI. All right. Circle, you may have noticed, I've noticed, Circle is doing an advertising push. You'll see here where it says ad. If you go on X, you're going to see a lot of Circle advertisements going around right now. And the reason they're doing this is because they're heading to IPO. And if you look, here's one of the video ads.
USDC is a digital dollar that works around the world with all the security of the dollar. So anyone, anywhere can participate directly in the global economy. And we activate the full economic potential of humanity for the first time.
And so I was talking to the guys at Link2, and they're about to add up more Circle private equity on the platform today. I think at 8 a.m. Pacific time is what the deal. I think. Don't quote me, but this is a big deal because these guys are on the runway to going public, which means that sooner rather than later, in my opinion, this private equity is going to dry up and people won't be able to get any more of it. So keep your eyes open if that's something you're interested in. They are my sponsor. Links in the description. Just go to link2linqto.com. Check this out from Gemini. They still have not listed XRP itself, but they are listing XRP GUSD perpetual contract on Gemini Foundation. Users in 30 plus countries can leverage their crypto to manage risk, generate returns, and gain directional exposure. Here's their pairs, Gemini derivatives. Look at Crypto Bull. Every once in a while, he comes out of nowhere with a bold claim. Look, there's another Circle ad right there. This time he's saying he sees an XRP to $10 to $13 in 2024. Once it breaks this little triangle, that is one long triangle right there. I've got my money where Crypto Bull's money is, because I'm thinking that at some point we're going to blast off this year, at the latest next year, but I think this year's as good a year as any. Very bullish on this year myself. Watch your guru. Now we know why Homeland Security met with the 4 Satoshis and has pretended like they did not, and the government has pretended like they don't know who Satoshi is for all these years. It's because they were sitting on a pile of Bitcoin that they had gotten from Silk Road and have been waiting on the ETS to be launched so that they can liquidate their positions. The question is, what does the government do once they have gotten their money out? And the other question is, if Bitcoin's so great, why are they selling it? That's something to keep your eye on right there. So is this. Ripple, explore the future of digital asset trading for financial institutions in the next Metaco talks with David Regelinig, CEO of Rule Match. Boy, sorry, David, I butchered your name. Now, this is Elon Musk here in recent days talking about X payments.
When you look at the future of X, you've talked about X being kind of an everything company. What does that actually look like?
I just mean all the things that you would want to use online. And China has WeChat, which is you kind of live on your WeChat in China, you know. So you buy things on WeChat, you post, text, audio, video to various feeds. Payments. It's sort of like everything. So I want to try to have an app that at least allows you to do everything on X. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can.
So, I mean,
or think of it like what PayPal should have been, basically.
Now, I have done many a video and told you what my theory is that somewhere behind XRP and XLM is the PayPal mafia. In fact, I have shown you how the guys behind PayPal are behind Stripe, which owns 2% of XLM. I've shown you how OpenCoin, which was before Ripple, it was OpenCoin, how the guys from PayPal, the Founders Fund, Peter Thiel and those guys invested in OpenCoin before it was even Ripple. So I've always felt like PayPal was behind it. I've also shown you video where PayPal, the original vision, well, originally PayPal was called X.com. And then the original vision of PayPal was to create a global reserve currency, okay? Then they scrapped it because they had venture capitalists, which required a shorter time horizon profit motive. And so they abandoned what their real vision was. Then in 2013, PayPal announced PayPal Galactic. You never heard about PayPal Galactic before, but up rises Ripple, OpenCoin, and then Ripple in the same year. So now he's talking about this everything app. And this, what you're about to watch, this is a clip I put out a while back. What you're about to watch is Greg Kidd. Greg Kidd just happened to have Jack Dorsey living in the house out behind his house when he founded PayPal, Twitter. Jack Dorsey just by coincidence. Greg Kidd, just by pure coincidence, Greg Kidd happened to have Jack Dorsey living in the house out back when Twitter was founded. Happened to be an investor. Also happened to show up to be one of the early investors of Coinbase. And also in 2013, when he happened to show up after a, quote, poker game to be one of the first 10 people at Ripple, Greg Kidd in I think this was around 2013, just happened to say this.
Of truth.
So I'm betting on the new forms of wallets, new forms of messaging that go with those. So I believe like in the future, young people, and those young people get older. I'm not sure why you won't have like a super app, which is just messaging on steroids. Messaging that's also your wallet. Messaging where there's bots and you can buy things you want to do. You don't really have to leave that messaging app. So instead of having like 100 apps on my phone.
This one is music, the other one is words, the other one is money.
So I'm investing in the pieces of that infrastructure. If you think about it, the things you need to get to that world is you need messaging rails, you need identity, because you got to do it compliantly. You need a ledger to keep track of everything. You need a wallet to get access to the money. And because we still live in a card-based world, you need cards. In other markets, you need QR codes. So anybody who's building those pieces, those are the picks and shovels of the next world that I'm expecting to live in. And so I'm investing in picks and shovels.
Remember, the other thing is he's expecting to live in a world where there's an intergalactic currency, because that's what he said when I interviewed him.
You can currently download an app, do basic attestations like prove you control a phone number, prove that the information on your government ID is valid. You can confirm that you control certain social media accounts. You'll soon be able to confirm that you control various bank accounts. All those attestations can be written to your name, your handle, which is globally unique, sits on a global registry. You can think about it as a white pages for everyone to see. Not the private information, but the public attestation that those private details have been verified. And so that's out there now. The next steps for that is to attach to it the messaging rails, the ledger and wallet rails, and the card.
All right. You see the big picture? Here's Sam Bankman-Fried. He's scheduled to be sentenced on March 28th. Now the DOJ decided not to pursue in second trial The accounts severed at the Bahamas demand request campaign finance and China bribes. And then Patrick McHenry, Eleanor Terrett's informing us that if Patrick McHenry does serve a subpoena, Gary Gensler will have to comply. Trump White House official Peter Navarro is sentenced to 4 months for defying January 6th subpoena. Then we have this. This is an interesting clip. I'm going to play at least some of it for you. This is this Ido Farina guy, and he's talking. I don't want to butcher his name. Versan Alara, but he's one of the. I love these guys. He's one of the guys from Black Swan Capital. I think they are one of the best channels in XRP land. I think they're two really smart. I think they're brothers. But listen to the beginning of this.
Reset, because everything goes down with the internet. And I think Persan says something extremely important. The XRP ledger might have capabilities to work offline. So in the same way that they always come with the problem, it's called problem reaction solution, by the way. So the same people who actually bring the problem, which is basically the globalists out there, you don't see nobody tokenizing on Bitcoin for more than 2 years. But the last time I checked in November 2023, Stellar was still the coin with most daily transactions. So it's very interesting that nobody talks about that, right? So Stellar is also flying under the radar. Huge hedge funds tokenizing on Stellar. One of them is actually Franklin Templeton. Whenever you talk about cryptocurrencies, you have to expand your views, because especially with XRP, XLM, people think XRP, they think fish currency, cross-border payments, but it's actually way beyond, as a great mechanism that allows to tokenize everything of value on the blockchain. Now, what I mean by everything of value, well, that goes from the first people think it's about properties, real estate. Yeah, that's one of them. But we have collectible cars, for luxury goods. It goes perhaps even tokenization of gold. Think about tokenizing not only physical assets, but the entire data that is on the blockchain. For the blockchain, they have what is called the oracles, that they actually serve the purpose of extracting the entire data. I mean, let's imagine a full transition from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, where you have to actually gather all of this data that right now is internet, and you have to pull all of this data into the blockchain. So that's what's going to...
Tokenizing everything. Derivatives, folks. Derivatives. Tokenization of the world. That's what we've always kind of thought XRP really is about the derivatives. Derivatives is all the money into the quadrillions. Now, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com right now, and I'm going to tell you, our world doesn't make any sense anymore. We've got, it's all craziness at this point. Even people who have always been lifelong people in one party or another, they no longer trust their own parties, because it's never been about parties. They used these parties to divide all of us. They used these parties and all this stuff to emotionalize things that don't really matter, so that they could get away with doing the wrong thing on the things that do matter. Well, in DAIXRP.com, I'm going to show you why they're doing what they're doing. It's a very easy explanation when you really sift through all of this stuff. But it's the real root of the why that's imminent right now. I'm going to show you, and it's very obvious. It's not hard to figure out. Some of you may have already figured it out. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that we are ruled by liars and thieves and criminals. So all you got to do is think like one of them, and you can figure out why they're doing what they're doing. All right.